Welcome to Science Highz Flowers are bar. Today we are looking at rocks, what rocks are, types of rocks, and then some examples. After that, we look at some importance or uses of rocks. All right, so let's start. What rocks? So when we say rocks are natural occurring solid materials consisting of one or more minerals which give rise to soil, which gives rise to soil, which gives rise to soil. Now when we talk of minerals are solid chemical elements or compounds that are homogeneous, that is, they have a definite chemical composition and a very regular arrangement of atoms. Now rocks are everywhere, okay? Everywhere rocks are. So in the beginning of the creation of in the beginning, let me just say the beginning, the whole earth was actually made up of rocks. Okay, you didn't see any soil. Mostly soils were rare. The whole earth was actually rocks. Okay, so it was through a gradual process that all these rocks became disintegrated, and then they started to form soil. Okay, now the earth's outer layer or crust is made most of rocks. Some common rocks are granite and basalt and basalt and basalt. Now let's move on to look at types of rocks. What are the types of rocks? So we have three main types of rocks. Okay, so we have igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and then metamorphic rocks. Okay, and the way rocks are actually grouped is grouped mainly based on the way they are formed. All right, so the first one that we are going to look at is igneous rocks. What are igneous rocks? Igneous rocks are hard, large, crystallized or glass-like rocks formed from molten or partially molten materials called magma. So during volcanic eruption, okay, during volcanic eruption, magma formed deep underground when rocks that was once solid melts. So that is basically how igneous rocks are formed. So the magma moves upward, it cools, and then it solidifies. Magma that solidifies underground usually cools slowly, and it allows large crystals to form. Now magma that reaches the earth's surface is called lava. So don't forget that magma that reaches the earth's surface is called lava. Lava loses heat to the atmosphere or ocean very quickly and therefore solidifies very rapidly, forming very small crystals or glass. When lava erupts at the surface again and again, it can form mountains. Okay, it can form mountains called volcanoes. Okay, volcanoes. So we have volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption is where blast, boom, and then molten magma start to erupt, okay, from it. All right, now we will talk about some examples of igneous rocks, types of igneous rocks. Actually, not example, types of igneous rocks. We have the intrusive and then the extrusive. Okay, the intrusive or the extrusive. So the extrusive, which is the volcanic igneous rock, and then the intrusive, which is the plutonic igneous rocks, in another lecture. So just stay tuned. All right, let's move on to characteristics of. So this is molten magma. This is molten magma. This is molten magma. Let's look at some characteristics of igneous rocks. Characteristics of igneous rocks. So the first one, igneous rocks are hard, large, and heavy, and they contain many crystals. Number 3, the many consist of weathering. And number 4, they do not form layers, and they do not contain fossils. So if I say they do not contain fossils, due to the high heat temperature, even if there is any fossil there, it will just burn. Igneous rocks commonly contain the minerals feldspar, quartz, mica, pyroxene, amphibole, and then olivine. Pyroxene, amphibole, and then olivine. All right. Examples of igneous rocks. So we have granite, pegmatite, rhyolite, gabbro, basalt. So these are some of the common examples of igneous rocks. So this is an example of pegmatite or pegmatite. All right, so that's pegmatite. Now let's move on to sedimentary rocks. What are sedimentary rocks? Sedimentary rocks are formed when loose sediment or fragments of other rocks harden in layers. So we have small particles of other rocks, and these small particles of other rocks over a period of time, they all come together, they become hardened due to certain conditions, water, air, and the rest. And then these conditions make them become hardened, and then they form into rock. So sedimentary rocks are also referred to as stratified, because if you look at them, you see that they are stratified. All right. Mostly arranged layers, so you realize that you see those layers formation there, because it is sediment fragments. So this fragment will form, and then it will become a layer. The next fragment or deposit will form and become a layer. The next one, layer upon layer. All right, let's do a formation of sedimentary rocks. Formation of sedimentary rocks. So as I explained earlier, sedimentary rocks form when sediments of other weathered rocks pile up into layers. As the sediment pile up, the weight of the layers of the sediment presses down and compact the layers underneath. The sediment becomes cemented together into a hard rock when minerals, most commonly quartz and calcite, precipitate or harden from water in the space between grains of sediment, binding the grains together. Characteristics of sedimentary rocks. So sedimentary rocks weather easily because the bond between them is not that strong. So, and they form in layers. Okay, so you see that they are forming layers. They are relatively soft. They have lines of weaknesses between them. Strata or layers. They usually contain hardened remains of prehistoric animal fossils. Okay, animal skull fossils. Types of sedimentary rocks. So geologists place sedimentary rocks into 3 broad categories. So we have clastic rocks, which form from clasts or broken fragments of pre-existing rocks and minerals. Example are sandstone and shale, sandstone and shale, sandstone and shale, sandstone and shale. Then we also have chemical rocks, which form when mineral precipitate or solidify from a solution, usually sea water or lake water. The most common types of chemical rocks are called evaporate, because they form by evaporation of seawater or lake water. Examples are gypsum and halite. Then we have the organic rocks, which form from accumulation of animal and plant remains. Example are limestone and coal. So this is sandstone. This is sandstone. It's very common. Usually found in our backyard. Very common. Sandstone. All right. So let's move on to metamorphic rocks. Metamorphosis, or to be transformed from one form to another, or to change from one form to another. Metamorphosis. So the dragonfly, it is seen as a small soft animal roaming on the surface of the earth. Over a period of time it goes and then hide itself at some place, and then it kind of just relaxes its body, something starts to cover it, and then wings start to develop. It breaks from the cocoon and it is now dragonfly. Likewise with butterflies. So metamorphosis means to change from one state to another. So metamorphic rocks, they are formed when either igneous or sedimentary rocks change in a process called metamorphosis. So metamorphosis is a process of changing. You change from one state to another. Heat and pressure are the main causes of metamorphic rocks. That is the change. Heat and pressure. Formation of metamorphic rocks. When igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks are exposed to great heat and pressure, they change their forms, and metamorphic rocks is a result. If a mineral is heated or compressed beyond its stability range, it breaks down and forms another mineral. It breaks down and form another mineral. Yeah. Elements changing, rocks changing, everything changing with the result of heat. Atomic numbers changing. Yeah. So this is serpentine. Is a metamorphic rock. Let's look at some characteristics of metamorphic rocks. They are hard. They have rough appearances and texture. They are heavy. Mineral distribution tends to be uneven, sometimes in the process known as foliation. Example is gneiss. Examples of metamorphic rocks formed from igneous rocks are gneiss and serpentine from granite and gabbro respectively. So when you take gneiss, is granite which change to become gneiss, and then serpentine, that is gabbro, that change to become serpentine. Examples of so in our next lecture we will actually look at some of these changes. Examples of metamorphic rocks formed from sedimentary rocks are marble, slate, and quartzite from limestone, shale, and sandstone respectively. So when limestone changes, we do have marble. When shale changes, we have slate, and when sandstone changes, we do have quartzite. quartz size. Right, so that's it for um rocks. That's it for rocks. So next time we look at some importance and uses of rocks, and then we'll also look at weathering of rocks. All right, so this has been Science Highz plus ZAUBERER. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like this video, and until we meet again, adios for now.